by GBNews reporter Ellie Costello. Ellie, yesterday you joined us here on The Money in a flashy sports car. Not today.
I know how times have changed. I had to drive my own car in today because there was no tube to get me here, and it took an awfully long time as well because the roads are jam-packed. And that is because, Liam, of course, we're seeing a triple strike action in London today. We had that national rail strike yesterday, got another one of those tomorrow, just one in every 5 services running, and today is the turn of London. And we've got a tube strike, we have an overground strike, an overground rail strike, and also a bus strike in South and West London as well. So there's an awful lot to contend with today, and those are 2 separate strikes that are taking place over pay and conditions. And you might be able to see behind me, I think it's on this side, I've got that wrong, this side, outside Victoria Station, there is a really large crowd of people outside the station. That's because the tube entrance is shut, the railings are across it, and it's going to remain that way for the next 24 hours. And many tourists are coming off the Gatwick Express and various other trains. They can't get anywhere. They're queuing up for taxis outside the station. I spoke to a lady earlier who'd been there for 50 minutes waiting for a taxi, very frustrated that she couldn't get anywhere. And this is all because 10,000 tube workers are estimated to have walked out today. 400 overground rail workers have also walked out. This is a strike action over pay and conditions. It's actually the 5th time that RMT members have walked out that belong to the London Underground service in a dispute over job cuts. And speaking this morning, it was the RMT General Secretary, Mick Lynch, and he claimed that these talks had come to a stalemate between TfL and the government. He says the unions are not even allowed at that table. Well, in response, the London Mayor Sadiq Khan, he says he wants this dispute to be resolved amicably with the unions, but he says it's the government that are using this as an opportunity to provoke the trade unions. He says he thinks we're all falling into the government's trap. Well, the Transport Minister, Grant Shapps, was speaking to GBNews this morning, and he said that the rail companies have made a very fair offer. Well, there is, as I mentioned, Liam, a separate bus strike going on in London today. That's affecting 63 routes in the south and the west of the city. 1,600 bus drivers are striking. They're saying that their pay rise is not enough. It's not in line with inflation. So if you're in the south or the west of London, you currently have little to no tube service, no overground service, and barely any bus service either. So the advice today, Liam, is if you are travelling in and around London and you have to travel, then do leave lots of spare time and do check before you travel.